At the moment of the birth of our Princess Mary, the Most High sent the Archangel Gabriel as an envoy to bring this joyful news to the Holy Fathers in limbo. Immediately the heavenly ambassador descended, illumining that deep cavern and rejoicing the just who were detained therein. He told them that already the dawn of eternal felicity had commenced, and that the reparation of man, which was so earnestly desired and expected by the holy patriarchs, and foretold by the prophets, had been begun, since she, who was to be the mother of the Messiah, had now been born. Soon would they now see the salvation and the glory of the Most High. The Holy Prince gave them an understanding of the excellence of the Most Holy Mary, and of what the Omnipotent had begun to work in her, in order that they might better comprehend the happy beginning of the mystery, which was to end their prolonged imprisonment. Then all the holy patriarchs and prophets, and the rest of the just in limbo, rejoiced in spirit, and in new canticles praised the Lord for this benefit. All these happenings at the birth of our Queen succeeded each other in a short space of time. The first exercise of her senses in the light of the material sun was to recognize her parents and other creatures. The arms of the Most High began to work new wonders in her, far above all conceptions of men, and the first and most stupendous one was to send innumerable angels to bring the Mother of the Eternal Word, body and soul, into the empyrean heaven for the fulfilling of his further intentions regarding her. The holy princes obeyed the divine mandate, and receiving the child Mary from the arms of her holy mother Anne, they arranged a new and solemn procession bearing heavenward with incomparable songs of joy the true ark of the covenant, in order that for a short time it might rest not in the house of Obed-Edom, but in the temple of the King of Kings and of the Lord of Lords, where later on it was to be placed for all eternity. This was the second step which Most Holy Mary made in her life, namely, from this earth to the highest heaven. Who can worthily extol this wonderful prodigy of the right hand of the Almighty? Who can describe the joy and the admiration of the celestial spirits when they beheld this new and wonderful work of the Most High, and when they gathered to celebrate it in their songs? In these songs they acknowledged and reverenced as their Queen and Mistress her who was to be the mother of their Lord, and the source of the grace and glory which they possessed, for it was through his foreseen merits that they had been made the recipients of the divine bounty. But above all, what human tongue or what mortal could ever describe or comprehend the heart secrets of that tender child during these events? I leave the imagination of all this to Catholic piety, and still more to those who, in the Lord, are favored with an understanding of it, but most of all to those who, by divine bounty, shall have arrived at the beatific vision face to face. Borne by the hands of the angels, the child Mary entered the empyrean heaven, where she prostrated herself full of love before the royal throne in the presence of the Most High. Then, according to our way of understanding, was verified what long before had happened in figure, when Bethsabe entered into the presence of her son Solomon, who, while presiding over his people of Israel, arose from his throne, received her with honor and reverence, and seated her at his side as queen. Similarly, but in a more glorious and admirable manner, the person of the divine Word now received the child Mary, whom he had chosen as mother, as Queen of the universe. Although her real dignity and the purpose of these ineffable mysteries were unknown to Mary, yet her infant faculties were strengthened by divine power for the proper reception of these favors. New graces and gifts were bestowed upon her, by which her faculties were correspondingly elevated. Her powers of mind, besides being illumined and prepared by new grace and light, were raised and proportioned to the divine manifestation, and the divinity displayed itself in the new light vouchsafed, revealing itself to her intuitively and clearly in a most exalted manner. This was the first time in which the most holy soul of Mary saw the Blessed Trinity in unveiled beatific vision.